Hiya, how you doing? Today it's after Christmas and I'm looking at a car that's got no brakes. The brake pedal's going right to the floor. So let's have a look and see what it needs. Right enough, this was empty and I've just filled it with brake fluid .4. It's just gone right down. So I was trying to look at the wheels and they all look kind of wet with the morning dew. So it's all damp on the floor. So what I noticed eventually after pumping the pedal a few times, this side was the worst, but we do have this little puddle by every wheel. This one looks like it might just be a caliper. But even then, I like to know if there's anything else that I need to tell them, so I don't have to phone them twice. But looking at that brake flexi here, that looks really corroded, like a Cadbury's flake almost at the end of it. So I'm going to see if that's going to undo before I tell them all you need is a caliper and then have to say, oh, now you need something else. So, is that corroded? I'm not even going to try a spanner or a wrench. I'm going to put this on it. I just want to rock it, see if it looks like it's going to turn. Well, as bad as it looked, I can get it with these vice grips to move. So that means I can let off the parking brake, take the cable out. I'd have to screw this on. Just trying to think. I could clamp that for now so we don't lose even more brake fluid. Because it's coming out the back of it, where the mechanism is for the parking brake. That's where it's coming out. So I have to fill this first on the new one before I fit the parking brake cable, which might be a bit more work, so I'd have to screw it on, then fit it. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Because I'll have to unscrew the caliper off the flexi, right? But you have to fill these first with brake fluid and bleed it on that first. Then you fit the cable, right? But for now I'm going to clamp this off, take the cable out, unscrew the caliper off there, and go and get one. See if there's one in stock somewhere, if there's anywhere to open today. Okay, when you're at this stage, you basically have got the cable out of here, and that one's going to need pinched on this little clip to get it through. Now I've got these 13mm, two of those to take out. I'm just going to take the caliper off and leave the pads in, since it's only the caliper I'm going to change. Probably going to need both hands. This one's a bit looser. So you get these two 13mm out, really easy. And hopefully it's not too bad to bleed. I've put a clamp on there, which you wouldn't want to do if that was braided inside. Some of them are braided inside at the back. On some cars, I mean, not on this car. Because then you just crush the braiding. But yeah, okay, I'm going to take that off with two hands and go and see. There's a choice of two apparently. I'll go match it up and see which one, if they've got the one that I need in stock. Motor Parts Direct to the rescue here. Still open over Christmas, so if you need any parts, anyway, I'll go and take it off and see what they've got. Okay, now I've moved it out the way. It's going to make it a lot easier to remove these clips here that are holding the handbrake cable in. Couldn't quite get to them before. Can't get the bolt out yet. And yeah, that's where it's leaking from, out of the seal at the back of it. So let's go get this off and see what they've got for me. I'll poke that out and then take it. Like I say, when you fit the new one though, you have to bleed it first, then you fit the cable. You don't move this linkage until it's got fluid in there. It may cause problems. I don't know if you've tried it without doing it that way and been totally fine, but it's just the way that you're supposed to do it, is fill it with fluid first and then move this. So I'm back at the car with the caliper. We don't have this little bit of flexi here. It is a flexi that comes separate from the pipe, but it's wasn't available anyway, so that's something we can do at another time because it's getting a little corroded. I'm just going to fit the caliper how I said, where I'll screw this onto the flexi, bleed this so the air comes out of the bleed fitting, then we fit the cable, then we put it onto here. Or you could bleed it anyway and then put it on there and then fit the cable. That doesn't matter, but the fact is we need to bleed it first. So now I got the caliper on, and I gotta put some brake fluid in here, .4. We'll just fill it up. Now last time this was just pouring straight through it, and it isn't at the moment, which is good. See this short piece of hose? Doesn't look that bad now. I've got the surface rust off, so it might actually be okay. So we've got this bleeding out. You can actually just gravity feed these. There's only one pipe been open. In theory, the rest of the system should still be full of fluid. It's just from here back to the reservoir would be empty. So if I give this a few minutes, I could put the tools away that I don't need anymore. And whilst I'm waiting, I could put a bit of grease on these pads and make sure that they can slide back into okay. But yeah, this is not going to be a bad job, and it's one of those satisfying jobs where you make a big difference from having somebody that's stranded to getting them going again. As the air starting to make its way out of it just by doing nothing. We'll get all this air bled out by that. You can pressure bleed it, which I have the stuff to do that. Pressure bleeding out, or you can pull it out with a vacuum from this side. I've also got the stuff to do that. I'll make sure this is properly bled. But like I say, once this is a trickle of fluid coming out, we know it's okay. And you'll know it's okay by the brake pedal. Will feel good. Like I say, I'm going to grease these up whilst I'm waiting. Oh, here we go. That's it. Has it bled? Literally, yeah, sometimes I give the brake flexi a little shake to get any last bits of air out, but basically that's it. You can put that on, put the cable on, and we know it's going to be a good pedal. That's one way of doing it. So yeah, nothing wrong with brake bleeders. They can speed it up a bit. You know, you have to wait a little while for this to make its way down here, but when you think it emptied itself overnight, emptied the brake fluid reservoir, so it will do the job if you give it long enough, without using any special tools. Another problem now, when that's on and sitting where it wants to sit with the cable inside, we've got what I call a pigtail in there, that we don't want that, and if I take the caliper and rotate it one turn one way or the other way, it's only going to get worse. That's the best it gets, because obviously this, when I screw the caliper on, it's rotated more or less than the original one. So what I now need to do is undo this side and take the twist out of it at this side and then bleed that again. Right, I've straightened up that. Much happier with that. And I've been and pressed the brake pedal a few times and got it so it's rock hard. I've actually just opened this bleed fitting again, or bleed nipple if you prefer, and I'm going to tighten that up. A tiny air bubble came out. The brake pedal actually felt okay, but I was like, I always like to do that, give it one last press. Now I've got this on, like I say, I put the cable on after bleeding it. That's tight. I'm going to press the brake pedal a few times and check for leaks. Okay, I got this torquing up. Now, somebody once said with these tin covered or nickel covered, whatever it is, you don't ever use an impact, because on my previous video I'd loosen them with the breaker bar and then use the impact to take them the rest of the way. They said even that, you can't do it. You have to take it all the way out with that. Now I always take these out with a breaker bar, the locking wheel nuts. But yeah, and that was somebody that says they were from Ford, so I'm just doing it that way so I don't damage the wheel bolts. Now it's all complete. All I want to do now is road test it. Just seeing that my hair is sticking up in the video. I want to road test it since it's, well, you always better road test. So caliper's on, torqued up, the wheels on, torqued up. I've got a good brake pedal, and that's all it was. The mechanism at the back of the caliper. But the thing of this video is more about when you work as a mobile mechanic, you really speak direct to the customer, you get the correct information, and you come out and you fix it, and you feel like you've helped them. Now they can use the car, they're happy, and it's, you know, you see the appreciation, and over Christmas, it's like day after Boxing Day now. They can use the car and you've made their life better, but it makes you feel good. It's a bit like it's rewarding to do that. When you work for another company, you don't see the people and it's just one car after another. And you kind of forget that you're helping people keep the cars on the road. So all this, by the time I've done it, it's like 1 hour's labour. It's not that bad. There's no recovery lorry needed or anything like that. No recovery vehicle needed to take it away, then take it to a garage and get them to do it. It's just you come out, see what it needs and get the part. That flexi pipe actually wasn't as bad as it initially looked, so I'm happy to leave that. But that's why I check. I like to check what I need first, so I don't come out and just, I'll get a caliper and then that doesn't fix it because I need to do a brake pipe or I need to do a brake hose or I need to get a brake cable. I like to check everything. I need to get pads and I don't like to order everything just in case and then return it all. I like to just see what does it need, buy what it needs and fix it and do it that way. But I'll road test it. I think that's about it for this video, just mainly talking about it. Doesn't matter how simple a job is. This was a brake caliper and for many mechanics that's going to be really simple. No special tools needed, just your standard sort of tools, but you've made a big difference to somebody's life, and that's kind of really feels quite rewarding at times. Thanks for watching.